Well, we want to get into another interesting conversation around the state of agriculture, and I have a lady and gentleman who will be speaking to us shortly about some of the key interventions that we are seeing the agriculture sector take on. And let me start with the lady we have with us this afternoon, Margaret Gatonye, Executive Officer, and we actually have Dr. Andrew Edewa, Food Safety Standards Expert and SMAP Technical Advisor. Perhaps, Margaret, what do you make of 53 years of independence from an agricultural point of view? Where are we as a country?
Thank you very much, Abby, for hosting us on this very important day. I believe we've made tremendous strides when it comes to agriculture. Yes, there's still a lot that needs to be done, but I believe we've made really progress, especially when it comes to women and in the sector of aquaculture. This is where I am based. Women in aquaculture has really improved because now they can be able to make money from aquaculture. They can be able to improve their health in terms of aquaculture. And this is good for Kenya, and it's good for us as human beings in terms of food safety.
All right.
Yeah.
I know you'll be telling us more about aquaculture.
Yeah.
And perhaps, Dr. Andrew, what do you make of 53 years after independence? We are still seeing people dying in some parts of the country due to food insecurity.
Yes, and that really is the challenge that we need to address in Kenya, and not just in Kenya, but in the region. That 53 years down the line, we still have much scope in terms of improving our state of agriculture in this country. Much has been done already. The policy framework now does exist. Many institutions are in place. Now we need to really go down and address the issues that have to improve food security in our region. Right. And I think that's what we really have to focus on going forward.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about what we need to focus on, because I'm seeing a lot of tweets coming in, and today we're asking Kenyans as we celebrate 53 years of independence, which areas should we prioritize? From your viewpoint, which areas can we say we want to put more money in so as to ensure we have an agricultural sector that is modernized, where we don't see people still using the ancient kind of ways of farming, really?
First, I think as a country we have to increase our budgeting and investment in agriculture. At least we need to push it to a minimum of 10%, as it is already agreed among the African Union Agreement, Maputo Declaration. Yeah. We also need to begin to really train our farmers to understand how to improve on their productivity. It's one thing to produce, but it's also another thing to produce profitably. Mm-hmm. And that's where we really have to look into. Then there is the area of reducing waste. We produce a lot of food in this country, but then a lot is also wasted. So we need to begin to look at the agro-industries, how we can then preserve what we produce in the abundance and make it available over the dry season. No. There is also a problem of just distribution. One region of the country may have a lot of food, while another region has no food at all. And so it's about the logistics of distribution and making sure that what is available is actually safe for consumption, and that we lose nothing of what we produce. Interesting. Even as we invest in the same sector.
And Margaret, I can see you also itching to say something. As you also talk about your points, just take us through also some of the benefits around the aquaculture and how has it transformed how people can earn a living out of agriculture.
Indeed, with time, aquaculture has really grown in the country, and this has been due to the change in technology that has come about. And we now see farmers are moving from the ancient way of doing farming to the new way of doing farming, where farmers can now do farming within their backyards. Yeah. They can now use mobile phones to be able to access and buy products online. And we see that youth are getting more and more involved into the aquaculture sector because this is where the money is, especially when it comes to the women. I'm more particular on the women because we need to discuss about how the women need to make money. And in aquaculture, they need to add more value to it. When it comes to health, a woman is more involved when, in the health of the family. And nowadays we've seen us as the association, we are moving forward and training farmers on how to add value to fish. They can make now fish samosas, sausages and kebabs and sell these to supermarkets and many other. As you understand, the country was listed last year to be able to export fish to the EU markets. And this is a huge step for us as fish farmers. And we need now to start training our mothers and our youths to be able to do more in terms of aquaculture and improve on their livelihood, as well increase the income. And this will in turn grow the country GDP.
All right. And Dr. Andrew, looking at your organization, what are some of the key interventions you've been able to achieve, and what's your roadmap for 2017?
I work for the Standards and Market Access Program.
Yeah.
This Kenya Standard and Market Access Program, in short, SMAP, is supported by the European Union to the tune of 12.1 million euro, which is something just the tune of 1.2 million billion Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
That's not little money, it's a lot of money. The focus really in this is on food safety.
Okay.
So while we produce food, we have to ask ourselves, how safe is the food? Because we might be producing a lot of food, but it's just poison.
Yeah.
So we need to see that the food itself is providing the nutrition that is required, it is safe for consumption, and that it's also possible to trade in it in a manner that it meets the minimum standards which have been set internationally in order to guarantee food safety even to the countries which import food from us.
All right.
And so looking into next year, we're looking at really emphasizing on food safety first as a public health issue, domestic food safety aspect, to ensure that our population has access to very safe food, but on the other hand, that we are able to access our international markets abroad with whatever we produce, the fish, the milk, the maize we produce, that we are able to make extra money from it by exporting.
Okay.
But these exports require that we have to comply with the necessary food safety standards, and that's what our emphasis is going to be on even next year.
Interesting. And let me allow Margaret to have the last word. Where would you like to see aquaculture in the country in the next, say, 5 years?
Just to take you back a little bit, people are not aware of what aquaculture is, and I work for Aquaculture Association of Kenya. This is a national umbrella body for fish farmers in Kenya. Our main aim is basically to bring all farmers together, training them on issues to do with aquaculture, and also seeing how they can get all this information and implement them on their farm.
Okay.
In the next coming few years, I want to see aquaculture grow in a bigger way, more budget allocation taken to aquaculture. We want to see women making money from aquaculture. I want to see the youth employed in aquaculture areas.
All right.
Yeah.
Many thanks there, Dr. Andrew Edewa, who works for food safety standards and is also an expert on that particular line. We also have Margaret Gatonyi, Executive Officer at AAK.
Yes.
Many thanks for that interesting conversation around taking stock of the agriculture sector. Of course, from where I come from, aquaculture, simply put, is fish farming.